Yeah, I love that. That was a little bit laggy for me. I don't know if that's ever laggy for anybody else, but on me, whenever I click the applause thing, sometimes maybe it's just my connection. It's just always like sounds really laggy. But what's up, everybody? Welcome to I don't know. I was thinking maybe we call this podcast Xbox Nation. A lot of people, I always say that Xbox Nation or whatever. So I mean, we do focus on Xbox, but talk about a lot of different things. And I got usual suspects here. I got Mooch, I've got Too Much Food, and Blackie Lebowski all joining me this evening. Thank you guys for taking time out to join the podcast, and thank everybody that's going to be watching and tuning in. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the show. A lot to actually talk about. First thing is we'll get in. There's kind of some late breaking news, and that would be the NPD reports for July of 2015, and it looks like the PS4 has in fact won the July NPD. I don't know the specifics, but it looks like Xbox sold around 200,000, which means the PS4 sold probably slightly above that. A little interesting fact is that the PS4 beat the Xbox One last July, 187,000 to 186,000, so only by 1,000. So I don't think that it's a situation where the PS4 is totally like stomping it. And there wasn't really any new games released in July. It's the summer, is that kind of drought that we go through. Mostly the PS4 was kind of living off of that Batman bundle still and things like that. August will be the interesting one, but I want to hear you guys' take on July's NPD. So whoever wants to jump in.
I say congratulations. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm going to let Blackie speak while I just soak that all in.
Yeah, I'm going to say congratulations to Sony, man. I mean, you got this PlayStation 4 selling off the shelves, and you ain't offering people shit. So congratulations. To me, that's a tremendous feat.
Yeah, I think Blackie. Don't you think he's better? They're better than like a David Blaine act, like a trickless magician.
As far as business goes, like you get something for nothing. I mean, that's perfect. Yeah. You're talking about where does it go from here? And I think by the end of this year, these numbers aren't going to be anything. You're going to have a lot of upset people with the PlayStation 4 console looking at they got Gears of War Ultimate, there's Halo, and there's Rise of the Tomb Raider. Why do we care about sales? I think that will happen by the end of this year. You can mark my words.
Well, this is probably the month that I've least cared about sales. Like, for me, it's all about this is the time of the month and where everybody gets together and acts like sales is like this big deal. And it always gets me to thinking, like, what else in life do people actually do this to? I mean, is it cars? Do we say, hey, man, Chevy outsold Ford this month? Hell yeah, fuck you. You know what I mean? I just don't see that happening. It's like, do we say, hey, man, I got them Nikes and they outsold, your whatever the hell's, Reeboks or whatever. I'm not even sure what the hell cool shoes are anymore, man. I wear New Balance. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, just like, it always kind of blows my mind, like, that people put so much stock in this. Like, okay, congratulations, you get sales for the month again. And I guess that makes PS4 fanboys happy. But at the end of the day, I think the Xbox fans are the ones that are actually happiest right now because we're the ones making all the positive news and have the most to look forward to, especially this year and next year particularly as well. I mean, it's looking like a phenomenal year next year. So I think that, congratulations on the sales, but also I would say that don't take Sony winning an NPD as Microsoft and the Xbox One doing poorly, because that's not the case. The Xbox One's doing rather well, especially Phil Spencer just did an interview saying well above where the 360 was at the same point in time. So, and we all know how that turned out, 90+ million consoles. So.
Well, I mean,
the thing is that, like you said, where the whole analogy you had with cars and shoes, but the thing is with shoes, no matter what company you buy your shoes from, they still fit on your feet and they protect you. With cars, it still gets you to where you want to get. But with the PS4, you don't get anything. You actually get price hikes, no new features, and service outages. So,
sound a little bit more enthused there, Too Much Food. Come on, man. You sound like somebody just like killed your dog or something, dude. I don't know.
Sony killed my hope.
My dog. Someone killed my dog. Man, it's just NPD numbers, man. Nothing to be upset about. It's all good. Hey, Mooch, I know you're chomping at the bit, dude.
Oh, I can't wait to talk, buddy. I'll tell you right now. Everyone thinks I sound like a broken record, but it's this is what it is, people. It's the media. The media doesn't just dictate that Justin Bieber's good or who's going to be your next president or who's cool or what TV show you should be watching even if you have no interest in it. You know, I've made a promise to my Twitter followers, and a lot of them are hopefully listening. I'll tell you the truth. I said I'll never, ever use the words "I congratulate." And this is no diss. If people want to do it, by all means, it's America. It's a great country. You do what you got to do. I will never give Sony a congratulations. Congratulations comes out of my mouth only once, and it's when you earned it. They didn't do shit. Okay, they haven't done shit, and then there's nothing coming. Because the great thing about E3 and Gamescom is you can see what's coming. You can actually see the future, and I see nothing. So what I don't understand is how we are all getting these shows by Phil Spencer, the whole cast and crew, everybody, backwards compatibility, your wishes are being met, any kind of issues you have with the system are getting met with the, what is it there, the reply thing they have on there for preview members. Sony's giving you nothing. There's nothing at all, and yet people are just buying it. Now, this is why, because you have IGN, GameSpot. It's the usual suspects in the big media. This is not, you know, us. This is not the people that we joke back and forth with on YouTube. We all play a very minute role. Nobody even really knows. It's the IGNs who are getting 1, 2, 3, 4 million hits a day. They're the same as the NBC, CBS, ABC of political news. Okay, it is what it is. So you have IGN that's just making smirks and smarks, and this, well, everything every day is just, we got this, you know, PlayStation's doing this, and it's so much, it's just talked about better in a general light. And unfortunately, what we're talking about when we say people are just missing the boat here, we're missing the casual gamer. The casual gamers, the people, the hardcore people hate. You know, they're the ones that just go to the mall, they look and they see a big blue PS4, and somebody in the store says this is selling really well. That's all they need to hear. Yeah. You know, I mean, there's kids that are 13, 14, 15 years old, and they're, like you said, they're buying the Taylor Swift. Listen, Taylor Swift, good for her. She's very talented, but she's not like, you know, I don't know, the Madonna of old or something like that, where you had like an actual pure talent that came out with like 16 albums in a row that sold #1. But the media makes you think that. And if you don't like Taylor Swift and you're listening to me right now, you're like, why is he saying that? She's actually really good. No, do you really think that, or were you told that? Yeah. And the point of the matter is the media is telling people. And if you don't think that that's the power they have, then there's no reason to even be listening to YouTube, because you know it's what it is. I mean, it's mind-boggling at this point that you have this misconception in this country that people are just, they're still buying the PlayStation off of a hype, a false prophet, a lie, and you know, I'm a little disappointed. And it's not the people that are listening. It's not you guys. It's literally the people that we all know.
Yeah.
Not us.
And what do you think?
For whatever reason they're buying.
Well, I don't know the reason. I wish someone let me know.
What do you think about the whole Polygon and Eurogamer putting up both within days pro Phil Spencer articles?
Well, I think that it's getting to the point where you have to have people are starting to notice the media bias, and I think that the media is noticing that we're noticing. So if you look at it, right, Kotaku probably didn't realize that they were putting out 2 negative articles and that it'd be kind of a backlash. I'm surprised that there was a backlash, but I'm happy that the Xbox community stepped up and said, hey, this is bullshit. The same guy that said Quantum Break looks fantastic 4 days ago is now saying it looks rubbish, you know?
Yep.
And the guy saw you know, Halo 5 and thought that the campaign looked boring, and he didn't seem like he knew much about Halo to begin with to be actually covering it. You know, it'd be like me sending me out there to cover a Persona 5 thing, right? I'm not going to come back with reviews for that saying it looks good. I don't know anything about it. So why send the guy that seems like he knows nothing about it? You know what I mean? And as far as I'm concerned, Sony should be like on their knees praying to whoever they pray to that the PS4 is doing as good as it does, because if you look at what Sony's done,
pray to Satan.
They've become the half-assed kings, right? And you think I'm kidding with this. Look at what they're doing, right? They've managed to fool people into believing that these lists of games that we're seeing are good. If you look on places like N4G, you have these people talking about, well, congratulations to PS4 for winning another month, and people would have you believe that they have no games, and then people are like, well, yeah, well, unless it's a AAA, because I've got this Just Gone to the Rapture game and this other game and Godzilla. I mean, it's just these terrible lists of games that aren't really big games. They aren't system sellers. When I buy, and I've gone over this a million times, PlayStation consoles, you want that Uncharted, that God of War, that Gran Turismo, that Jack and Dexter, that Sly Cooper, that SOCOM, yeah.
Can I ask you a question? I want to put a special request out to all the indie developers listening right now. If you could start to make your games titled like magazines, you know, when you go to a grocery store or any store at all, and like you just see a magazine called Walking, You know that magazine is about walking. Stop calling your games Welcome to the Rapture, this other shit, when it's just walking. It's fucking walking around.
Yeah.
I'm not, listen, no one wants to spend $20, $25 on walking around, reading something, this and that. That's just ridiculous. The same thing with soccer cars. I'm still getting Twitter hate from that. Like the fact that we're still discussing, it was everywhere. It's literally in Game Informer magazine in like 3 different sections of the goddamn magazine this month. The guy who made that right now is like, how the fuck did I get this popular? Same thing like Flappy Birds. If you made fun of Flappy Bird on iOS and Android and you're not making fun of rocket cars, go look at yourself in the mirror right now. You're a fucking lunatic. Like
Well,
it's literally the most basic video game since Pong.
And IGN's really guilty about stuff like that because the whole soccer cars thing, they put up an article about it, right? And then the next day they put up another one, and then the next day after that they put up another one, and then the day after that they put up an article saying why you should love it. I'm like, I mean, they're really trying to sell you these games. It's all they have on their system, Mooch. So they're trying to like sell the hype that is for some reason surrounding it. So
somehow Sony did the unthinkable, the unknown. They are in their minds. They're in the media's pocket. How are they in their pocket? They're not paying them off. I say it all the time because you have to reinforce that, or somebody's just going to go on a Twitter rant and say, "Well,
they think
come on,
you're
nobody's
crazy."
putting a white arm on it." Right? They think I'm crazy. They're not paying them off with a check. You know, like Dear Shaggy, $1,000. Like, no, it's not like that. But I mean, at the same point,
here's some new Sony
sort of
TVs. Here's some free engraved PS4s.
Couple trips to Japan.
Yeah, I mean, come on. We're going to give you some exclusive interviews or whatever. And you know what's interesting? And I saw someone mention this today. We all hate NeoGAF. It's like the scourge of gaming. It's one of the most biased places you can go to. But as far as I know, pretty much only Xbox people go there and give them any kind of information and post on that forum, right? Because if you counted on Yoshida or Kaz Hirai or anybody high up on PlayStation, I heard maybe Adam Boyes has posted there a couple times or something. But for the most part, those people aren't interacting with the fans. I mean, why would they? And it's like until the Sony fans, and guess what? PSN was down today for a while again. So I mean, until the fans actually step up and want more and request more from their from the people running the PlayStation division, they're not going to get it because, like I said, they've done the least possible amount and got the most out of it. Like Sony at this point in time as a company are doing as half-assed thing as they could do. Just look at the Vita, half-assed, they're not supporting it. Their phones, half-assed and failing. Their TVs, half-assed and failing. Their failed laptops, that Vio line, right? They sold that off. But still, they're not even allowed to install Windows 10 because they haven't worked on the drivers, you know what I mean? So I think that it's just that company is full of failure, and because Microsoft shot themselves in the foot originally, now all of a sudden these Sony people are buying this up. So I mean, again, I don't think that it has to do with Microsoft doing terrible, because I think the Xbox One's doing really well. I just think that for some reason the PS4 is some kind of phenomenon at this point. I don't really know, and some of that could be the Wii.
Xbox One is doing very well. You're right, Crap.
Yeah.
It's doing very well.
So if you look at the Wii, it was like it did really well and took a lot of market share. Everybody had one, even most people did anyway, and and I think that a lot of those people are now you kind of divide it up. So and not only that, but it doesn't do any favors to Microsoft that they don't announce their numbers to anything, and it's not some kind of conspiracy. Like if you look at they've never announced a single number for anything this generation. I mean, aside from the 10 million last November.
But you know what it is? It won't matter, because if they announce they sold 30 million this quarter, just this quarter alone, PlayStation fans will start taking up the argument of, well, it's not about sales, even though that's what they argue. If you haven't noticed, they love to flip-flop.
Well, they push the goalpost. That's what they do.
Yeah. Last generation with the PlayStation 3, they had PSN for free. They're like, oh, it's free, we don't have to pay. Online services shouldn't be behind a pay barrier. And then now they have to pay for the PS4. And then all those guys went, they didn't say a word. They just stayed quiet, try to pretend like I didn't hear what they said. They try to pretend like I forgot, hoping to God that I forgot. So, I mean, that's why I think announcing numbers won't be a thing, because they could say they sold 30 million, but then they will say sales don't matter.
And who really gives a fuck about sales? Like, really, the Wii is the perfect example. I said this before. The Wii.
Fuck all that bacon grease. Bacon grease.
Look at this guy.
That's that bacon
Look
grease.
at this guy right here. What's up, man?
Bacon grease. What up? So loud.
Hey, Next Gen, I heard you. I heard your channel got. Got some flack, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I got community guidelines for cyberbullying, and I got a flag from that corporate cocksucker. I feel that, you know what I mean. It is what it is, though. You know what I mean. But I ain't gonna let that shit stop me.
You fucking pedophile motherfucker! I'll pull your fucking.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So the show gonna go on. You know what I mean. So like I said, it take 10 days to appeal. But like I said, we still gonna do the show Sunday. You know, I hate to, not saying I hate, but I do what I guess I ain't gonna let this shit stop me or us. You know, what I mean, we can, like I said, I record this shit over Skype, and like that's what I was thinking. What we could do is to still get the audience involved in it. You know, throw a couple of topics out there on Twitter, and we can answer them at the end of the show. You know what I mean? Until, like I said, this shit is resolved. You know what I mean? But it's some bullshit, man. Motherfucker throwing rocks and hiding his hands, man.
Bro, Next Gen, ever since you did that show, I've been wearing a cup because I'm afraid somebody's going to try to pull my dick, man.
Yeah, that's it, man. I told you, man. But listen, but I'm telling you some real shit. All jokes aside, this is not the first time that he done this. He flagged Dr. Trey's channel. He flagged Omega Losers channel. You know what I mean? He came out and openly admitted, and motherfuckers roasted him for flagging Dr. Trey's channel. Like, that's some weird shit, man. I don't understand that, man. That's crazy.
Well, hey, Next Gen, real quick, what did you think about like the NPD results? I mean, did that surprise you?
I actually, like I said, you know what I mean. I was on my way out the door. I had to go to my grandmother's house and get the dogs, but I heard. I looked on BG charts and somebody had the thread. 189,000 for the Xbox One. They didn't show anything for Sony. That was for July.
Yeah.
So it's still that fucking goddamn Batman bundle. You know what I mean? It's still selling.
Yeah. It really did. That game sold well, man.
You know, even the bundle. But like I said, I think from from August on. You know what I mean, with Gamescom and what do you have in September? Forza. Anything else comes out?
We got packs coming.
Hey, you know what? The Madden bundle comes out in August too for the Xbox One.
So you know, I mean, I think Microsoft should do good in August. You know, like I don't understand. It's like, goddamn, it's like the PS4. I mean, I know I'm not a Sony dude, but that console, Jesus Christ, it seems like it can't be stopped.
I think we might be picking up steam here shortly because we took over E3, right? We took over Gamescom. We know TGS is coming. Microsoft backed out of that, but Microsoft has 2 shows going on in Japan in 2 separate cities to take place of their spot from TGS.
That's not going to help us at home though, because nobody here really gives a shit about those Japanese games.
And you know, I mean, even the PS4 is not selling any goddamn. I read an article that they're not even selling. You know, all console sales are down across in Japan
because they play their mobile games and Dance Dance Revolution.
The worst part
that's why they're looking to localize their games now. Japanese developers.
Yep.
Because you know the PS4 is not selling well. Actually, the Wii U, I believe, was the #1 selling console in Japan. That's crazy as hell.
Yeah, Platoon. That's why.
You know,
the worst part about that article was basically the whole fact that the devs were disappointed they had to make games for us. They're like, well, Japanese devs now have to make games for the Western audience. Go fuck yourself, don't.
Yeah, you know what, I'm not really worried about it, but check this out. Like, Microsoft had such a good Gamescom. I think their Gamescom was much better than their E3, so I think that that's really going to help, and I think that they probably figured that it was going to be better than their E3, although I think their E3 was good, but then you have to look at, they're trying to do better in Europe. You know, and that's why they needed to have the better show.
If you go to Amazon, it was last week, but Amazon, the UK bestsellers, the Xbox One is the #1 console there. You know, but you got to realize the UK is a small country, and within Europe, you still got them other countries like Spain and Madrid and all those shits. You know what I mean? They don't sell many units, but you know the PS4 reigns supreme there. You know?
Yeah. I had made that point before because remember Sony come out with their typical kind of bullshit. Oh well, you know we've got 70 to 90% in most countries in Europe. You know, and my point was maybe they only had 50,000 or to 100,000 total units combined sold, and you had a 60-40 type deal. You know what I mean? It could, which would only be 60,000 to 40,000. So it makes it sound a lot worse than it is. You know what I mean? So I think that it's a situation where, they like to tout those numbers and things like that. I mean, they're quick to. Those are their press releases lately. If Sony releases something to the press, it's always, hey, we're fixing what we fucked up with our last update, or or our sales. I mean, that's basically it.
I
That's the
said
part
it
out where
before. I said
at
it
the end the
before.
meeting was
I'll
like,
say it
go
again.
buy PS4 though. Like they
Go ahead,
literally
Blackie.
promote.
I was
go
gonna
ahead,
say
Blackie,
that,
my bad.
like, and I've said it before. I've said it again. It's like we keep hearing sales, and at the end of the day, like, why are people so? They're easy to forget the history of things, right? And I mean, the seventh generation it's not that far away, and you're talking about, look at the fucking Wii U. Just look at this system, and look how successful it is. Coming off the Wii sales, it makes no sense. And to me, it's like, I just don't see, with Gamescom and E3 and Halo coming this year, Gears of War, Rise of the Tomb Raider, we got the new dashboard, we got the Elite controller, the chat pad, and we really start to just consider all this shit. It's like, these sales, like, keep playing them games, man, because I really think a lot of people came off of last generation hungry. It was real stagnant. It lasted way too long. It was like one of the longest generation for gaming consoles in history. I could be wrong there, but it was one of the longest ones, 8 years.
It was the longest, 9 years.
The motherfuckers was hungry. And so you had the boost of social media. So now, in 2013, whenever they were showing the Xbox One, people were a lot more easily influenced than they were back in 2005. Say what you want to say, but that's just how the fuck it is. And so you had a lot of people who were, oh, let's get this Xbox, let's get the PS4, fuck the Xbox, because of what the media was saying. So you combine that with the long generation and all this shit, and you see what Sony's delivering. I'm saying, if I was running that business and I had 25 million consoles sold, these people would have a Warhawk 2. They would have a SOCOM. There would be a Twisted Metal. There would be something that people could identify PlayStation with as far as a mascot or a character, and they still don't have that shit. After 20 years.
You know what it is too, Blackie? Honestly, and this is not me putting a corporate spin on it. You know, I mean, with the whole Globetrotter corporate spin, but what it was, at the start of the generation, there were more PS3 owners, upgraded before Xbox owners. People, and you can, and it's just think about it, because if you look at their PlayStation Plus numbers, I think it's like at 12 million. That's between all three consoles. You understand what I'm saying? That's between all three. They only have 11 to 12 million PS Plus users, and you're talking about you ship or whatever 25 million consoles. It doesn't add up. Now you need, PS Plus to, PSN to play online. So what it was a lot of people that upgraded before Xbox One owners. They're waiting for their Gears. They're waiting for their Halo. They're waiting for their Fable. You know what I mean? To make their move. Like you said, you look at the Xbox 360, still a kick-ass system. You know what I mean? With all the features and stuff that you can do.
Hey, you know what? Believe it or not, they just updated that dash and shit again on the 360.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? But what Microsoft is going to have to do, honestly, I even know that it's for every PS4, for every 360 sold, it's profit for them. You know what I mean? They're selling it at a profit, and what they're going to have to originally, they're going to have to pull the plug on it. And stop support.
You know, it was interesting. Like Phil Spencer did an interview, and I read it, and I liked some of what he had to say in it. Right? He said he's not worried about what Sony's doing per PS4 sales. They're not. That's not how they're gauging what they're doing. He's looking at Xbox 360, Xbox One, Windows as all his platforms, and he has the largest consumer base with those combined, right? He's looking at himself as the industry leader right now, not as someone is trailing. And I think that's a great perspective to have. And then you look at, like, he did a good interview, and then you have people complain, oh well, look at how IGN spun his interview about Crackdown, Scalebound, and what the hell is the other game? Yeah, Quantum Break going to PC. Phil Spencer said those games aren't going to PC. He said you would have had to start those at the same time, like with Halo Wars 2. And he says not everything's. He said it plain as day. Not everything works on console works on PC and vice versa. He said there's first-party studios might do PC games that won't go to the console. He said where it makes sense, and you have to start it from the get-go to doing them both. So people, and then the way IGN kind of spun that, and it's like that's part of the problem too. IGN spun it like they were going to come to the PC.
And I don't see what the big deal is, because I did a video about the whole Phil Spencer interview, and I got a backlash of people saying that it's bad for Xbox, and I'm like, I don't understand.
Well, it's a double-sided blade. I'll explain it to you. You've got the fact that you have, if the PC games are, if PC gets the Xbox games, you have to understand you can do that. That's fine. Spencer knows this. There's nothing here that I'm going to say is a matter of concern. These people know this. There's a lot of very educated people there, first of all. So everyone's got to, not you, Food, but everyone's got to relax out there. Because what they're going to do is they're going to put certain, Crap just said this, they're going to put certain types of games onto PC. They do understand that if you're going to actually have a consumer that's going to go out and spend $400 on a box, of course, there has to be something that's only neutral, that's only exclusive to that system. They know that. So they're going to pick either certain genres within the title to ship out, like Halo and Halo Wars. That's going to go out, but not Halo 5. Halo 5's not going to...
No, it's not. Halo 5 is not.
Halo Wars, yes, that's it.
Still, even when people, and I don't understand this, but the PC elitists, you know what I mean? I'm quite sure we all just seen, when I told you motherfuckers that the survey that Steam put out, about 3 years ago, and hold on, what's it? Yes, baby, you need me? Yes. That I think it was like the Wii U was more powerful than the average quote-unquote PC gamer owner, whatever the case may be. Now you have the new survey came up that something was like 60% or so, or whatever the case, are not even playing their games at 1080p 60 frames a second.
66% aren't playing 1080p.
Okay, now with that being said, these consoles are more capable than these quote-unquote these gaming rigs. Also, like I said before, it's not about Microsoft putting these games on PC. No, they're putting their games on Windows. Not inside the Steam store, on the Windows 10 store. You know what I'm saying? It's their same ecosystem. It's not like, you can walk into Origin and download, hey, you're going to give me Gears of War 5 in Origin. No, it's going to be in the Windows 10 store. You understand what I'm saying? That's their same ecosystem. It's not the same thing as Nintendo putting Smash Brothers on the 3DS and also having Smash Brothers on the Wii U. What the fuck is the difference? It's still exclusive. It's Microsoft's, ecosystem.
And what I was saying earlier.
Hold on, listen. I have a thought real quick. Let me say this, okay? A lot of people, like, this is the problem. You have Xbox fans that look at it as, that's mine, I don't want that to be on anything else, right? That's because they don't like the PlayStation fanboys or the PC fanboys who weren't going to buy an Xbox One anyway to say, what's the point in even buying an Xbox One then, right? But this is what I would counter, and let me throw a lot of logic at a lot of you morons out there, okay? Exclusives make up 1% of the console base, right? Exclusives make up 1%. The other 99% is multi-platform things, right? Third-party multi-platform games, your smaller games, your indies. So 99% of what's on our consoles are multi-platform, third-party stuff, and 98% of that is on PC. 98% of that is on PC. So we're still buying these games on console, even though we can get them on PC. We still bought Batman, and we still bought The Witcher on console, even though they came out on PC as well. So what would be the point in buying these consoles?
Also, guess what, right?
What?
They ran better on consoles.
Oh, no shit. You know what? They don't even take, most of these companies don't even take PC seriously.
What do you
right?
mean?
Look,
You corporate cocksucker, what do you mean?
Rocksteady didn't even bother to do the PC version of Arkham Knight.
Did you see? No. Even one better, Crap. Did you see? I'm high as hell right now. This fucking fitting on kicked in. Your motherfucker's in trouble now. Did you fucking see the article from the what's that shit? Not the Order, the Wolfenstein. Over 100,000. You know what I mean? That's the fucking problem with PC. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers like to see we got these bullshit rigs and they don't even fucking spend money and buy fucking games. You know what I mean? They're gonna risk their, getting their motherboard fried from a nasty ass fucking virus or something on those fucking, torrent sites. They don't even fucking buy video games. You know what I mean?
Shit, don't work. Like on Steam, MotoGP 14, that shit don't launch. Like,
no. Hey, check this out. When I got my first rig with the single Titan, I spent about $4 for my first computer. And before I got the computer, you can make your Steam account, and I bought all these $3, $4, $7 games, Dirt 3 and all that shit. Like 5 of them didn't even boot up. Dirt was one of them. So I'm like, God damn, I'm hitting launch, and Steam doesn't have any customer service or anything like that. You got, you got to send them an email, and it's not like you got a problem with a game with Xbox Live or Xbox. You call them in or whatever the fuck the case was. Steam doesn't have that. I had to go dumpster diving on some Russian fucking site to patch a file from here. Who the fuck wants to do all
that
that
was my
shit?
problem too. Next gen, I swear I got my rig built, and I spent so much time on forums and looking for solutions to problems.
Yeah, man, that's
You see,
bullshit.
with consoles, you don't have to do that. You could just buy a console.
Common problem with that, with BioShock on Steam. It'll sound normal. Everything is fine, and then you start off in the water, you're swimming, there's a fire, no sound. And this is a very common problem. Games for Windows Live with Dirt 3. And I mean, I had $1,600 with, solid state hard drive, i5 3575K, GTX 770. It was a pretty decent build. And it did not fucking matter. I enjoyed Dota 2. But like Next Gen said, man, you're clicking launch. Next thing you know, you're on a forum and you on some damn link and it's some deep web bullshit. It ain't no telling what the fuck you got going on your computer. It's, to me, give me an Xbox One, give me a Wii, give me anything that just plugs up to a TV.
And it works. And it just works, man.
The Steam, there's a Steam poll that just came out, and it said 68% are running their computers, their rigs, which is just funny, at 720p or less. This is what I'm saying. So PC Master Race people, anytime anyone tweets you or gives you a hard time, you can tell them to just fuck off. It's almost like somebody who has absolutely no idea what you do for work just walking up to you at lunch and being like, you suck at your job. You can almost mush that dude's head right into the wall and keep walking straight on. Like, literally, at this point, 68% of people are looking at, like Zaire said on our BGST last week, 720p or less, and you can't even find a 720p television out there anymore. That's the kind of people we're dealing with. The report came out before that it said it was weaker than a Wii. That people have a hard time believing that. This is a little bit more reasonable. 64% of people 720p or less. Master Race, kiss my ass.
Booch,
Well, the thing is,
somebody was saying, I heard a comment, they were like, well, it's only 720p because they run higher frames per second, and I'm just face palming like, oh my god.
bro, it's ridiculous because these consoles, like, that's the best thing about getting these consoles. You just buy it, you plug that shit in, and it works.
That's exactly why. It's a closed system. That's why it's simple. You pop your game in, it installs. Well, it's a little bit harder now than last gen, but that's one of the things I liked about the 360, man. You put in your game, and you fucking played.
And the consoles, like they're capable because the developers, they know what the specs are. They know everybody's gonna be playing on this console. It's not gonna be different graphics or sound cards or anything like that. And it's gonna be, what's the word? Like, there's some games out there that the hard drive in the Xbox One is a 5400 RPM, right? But like PC gamers get the 7200 RPM. And they need that as their minimal, but it runs better on the Xbox One with a slower hard drive because the developers can optimize these games for our consoles, but they don't do that shit for PC.
Well, you know what? And here's the thing, and I don't even really like talking about PC. I've already talked about it too much, but this is the PC Master Race thing is just always like the most insecure people, right? They're the ones that are like PC Master Race in the comments and stuff, and it's not, there's no way to judge that because they could have any kind of piece together thing. And when I say PC gamers are cheap, yeah, not all of them. But a lot of them, like the few PC gamers that I even know, are really cheap. They have slapped together units that are running things at probably sub 720p, and they just like to pirate games or they buy Steam games 50 for $5 or whatever it is they do, and they never even play them anyway. You know what I mean?
And I think it's as corny as it sounds. I think it's like an insecurity thing. Like, they want to prove to themselves that they spent the right amount of money and that their PC is better than us. And they don't like the idea that we could run a game on weaker hardware better than theirs at a smoother frame rate. Hell, there's games on the Wii U that handles things at a higher resolution with higher frame rate and absolutely zero screen tearing, while on PC you could be playing a what do you call it? A third person. From above? You know those command and conquer RTS. There you go. RTS. Yeah, they'll be playing RTS games, just browsing the area, and I could see screen tearing all over the fucking place.
Hey, Crap, do me a favor, Crap. When you get a chance, send me that link from that Steam article. I'm gonna do a video.
Yeah, I will, man. I'll send it
I
to you.
will say though, some of them RTS games, there's so much programming going on in them. They really do. You would think they would be easy to like run, but there's so much AI in some of them games. It's kind of.
Oh my god! Here's another thing that I saw. It's a sorry excuse for PC gamers. Like, there is a monitor that they sell. I think it's sold by Acer. It's like their gaming monitor that you can connect to your rig, right? And it can tell how many frame rates per second that you're gonna get. So like when your frame rates are fluctuating, because we know PC gamers put it at 60, but that shit be dropping down to fucking 42, 38, and shit. So like you even need your monitor to help your PC. Like I think that's sad.
Yeah, you know what? And for me, I've always been people always gave me shit because Sony is the ones that kind of started this whole 1080p or death thing or whatever. Just look at the new Witcher 3 update, right? It completely restored the Xbox One superiority for the frame rate for that game. And even the Eurogamer, who usually is so anti-Xbox, basically came out and said that 1080p means less graphical effects, and it pretty much always will. That's what that means on console. The higher the resolution, the worse the frame rate, the worse with the textures and what you can put in as far as effects and things like that. And that's why a lot of the games, when you show them, like I can remember, what was it, last year when they showed the FIFA games, and that was the one where the Xbox One version didn't have motion blur, and I was like, that's good because it didn't look all blurry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it looked so much better, but like people gave me shit for that. I was like, look, I'd much rather have it. That's why they give you the option to turn motion blur off.
Right, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm going out with Mooch on this one, Mooch. I might close my channel up. Windows 10 comes the Xbox One and full DX12. The Xbox One is going to lead the competition with that. You know what I mean? And I bullshit you not. People like to. Like I just watched the AMD thing on DX12, and they were talking about their GPUs or whatever the fuck the case may be that are, it's going to be compatible with the X12. And the Xbox One is me also. And just going by, just not getting all technical mumbo jumbo like this. You know what I mean? The fact that all your cores can converse with the GPU simultaneously. You know what I mean? There's things that they're going to be able to do with DirectX 12 that they could only dreamed about with DirectX 11. And what people don't want to realize that DX12 on the PC, whatever, on Windows 10, I'm sorry, and the Xbox share the same code. So you already had developers come out and say that they can, from Batman and from Witcher, that they can go back and patch their games with DX12 on Windows 10. So if they can do it on Windows 10, why the fuck would they be able to do it on the console? They share the same fucking code. I'm telling you, this is going to be Microsoft Ace up their fucking sleeve. Mark my fucking words on this, man. I'm telling you guys. You know what I mean? What stops them from fucking patching it on the Windows side, which is the same fucking code as they use on the Xbox One? If my cell phone got a performance boost, if my tablet received a performance boost, why the fuck would my console?
Z, tell me this. You're definitely speaking the truth. Why is it that they made a point almost 8 months ago to show us that they could port from the Xbox One to the PC Forza 5, not Forza Horizon, Forza 5. They port it in 25 or 30 minutes. That's amazing. That usually takes months.
It's the same code.
Boom, it's the same code. It goes right over. And that's the same thing
like I said, and what people don't understand, Mooch, and well, at first they didn't believe in the cloud. The cloud is nothing, right? So now we such that goddamn thing. Oh, here go Rich for you taking. I told you, Xbox, the X12's not gonna do shit for the Xbox One. Nothing. Listen, if developers are saying, even that fucking guy from fucking what's that driving game, and they asked him the benefits of direct
Project Cars.
Yeah, and the Xbox One. Why the fuck would he be talking about PC? But that's another whole new different. I mean, again, they share the same fucking code. It's not that they have to do something special for the Xbox One version. The last time I checked, the Xbox One has an AMD GPU also. You know what I mean? I just watched the video just now. Like, this shit is crazy as hell. You know what I mean? Like, now it's all starting to come together. I'm telling you, everyone this, they can hear from here to fucking New Zealand. The Xbox is a better built machine. Where the PS4 architect is meant to give you all the performance gains up front, whereas the Xbox wants to continue to get better, and better.
I said all that stuff like over a year ago, dude.
You
this
did?
sounds like I did, man.
You
I was like,
racist Massachusetts.
I know, right?
No way.
Yeah, no, seriously. I went back and I was listening to some old school BGST stuff, and me and you, and we were all saying this stuff that the PS4 was more powerful up front, but that the Xbox One had a lot more room to grow and a lot more ability to grow, and that's been proven because if you look at just everything that's happened since they launched, the PS4 is doing the exact same stuff it did at launch with the exact same problems. There's not really anything new. A lot of the stuff that they promised still hasn't really come true, where Microsoft has really kind of come to vision and things like that. I think that it's definitely an interesting situation with, with this cloud stuff. Now everybody's taking notice of it, right? It's like, where were you guys years ago when you look at the article from years ago about cloud computing on Xbox One, and everybody was like, it's crazy.
I don't think they're just noticing it, crap. I think it's because they can't ignore it anymore. They can't sweep it under the rug and be like it doesn't exist.
I got in an argument with Jonathan Blow. If you guys don't know who I am, I think he's an indie dev, right? Mm-hmm. And I got in an argument with him on Twitter because he said something about he didn't believe that the Xbox One had 300,000 dedicated servers and that there was no such thing as cloud processing. And this guy is a fucking developer saying this, right? And I got an argument with him, and this argument made it into a site. Right, because this is a developer saying that it's hogwash and Microsoft didn't have all those servers and that they were quote unquote virtual servers, which are less servers, and then you split them up and it's not real servers. So basically, he's basically calling Microsoft who's basically barely the second largest, almost the first largest as far as dedicated servers and the cloud.
They might be number one now.
Yeah, they might be because they have more. Yeah, they have more data centers going up all the time. And so basically called Microsoft liars and stuff. And he basically was like, and his whole agenda was, he's like, Microsoft tried to ruin me, blah, blah, blah. They threatened me. Yeah, I swear, dude, this is the
I remember
talking about this stuff, right? And I'm like, dude, this dude is so crazy. He's going to say anything. And guess what? He was one of those guys that was on stage originally at the reveal for the PS4 and that E3 showing off that Witness game that still hasn't released. You know what I mean? So I think that you got a lot of these fallacies going around. You can go back and look, and all these sites are like, it's such bullcrap. Microsoft can't do anything. There's no such thing as the cloud. It's probably not going to happen for 10 years or longer. And now we have a situation where we see it. But the question that I would ask you guys is, because Phil Spencer said he would love to see this, is do you guys think that third parties will, because Phil Spencer said he's open to letting them use Azure for third-party games on Sony platforms.
You know what? I think if there's
wait. Not to cut anyone. He said on Sony platform games also?
He said that he's totally open to third-party developers utilizing cloud computing for multi-platform games, and that they could be put on PlayStation 4 as well.
Matt, bro, look, I think if there's a smart developer out there that has a dream of having the best game that they could possibly make, they should do that. I think they should.
It has nothing to do with the developer.
I want to say, fuck, I want to let Sony use shit, get their own shit.
Yeah,
use that guy Kai.
Fucking ass pirates, they can keep all their bullshit. No.
No, fuck that.
I think that might have been just good press, to be honest with you. I mean, that's.
Well, he said this is the thing. Like I wouldn't say I got in an argument with Tim Dog about this, but this would be good to talk on BGST. But me and him kind of went back and forth because he's like, yeah, it's definitely happening. They're definitely going to put it on third-party stuff, and I'm like, listen, third parties haven't even utilized Azure for dedicated servers. What makes anybody think they're going to utilize it for something like cloud computing? And who's going to foot the bill for the Sony platform? Because Sony won't do it. Are third-party devs going to foot the bill to use cloud computing?
Maybe they'd have to pay Microsoft. I mean, to be honest with you, they may need Microsoft's help. And I mean, Microsoft is willing to. I mean, if they're willing to do that, it's a third-party game, and it would allow the game to come out where the game would normally not come out. And if Sony's able to pay Microsoft, I mean, business-wise, I could see it. I don't think it's a good thing to do. Look, you guys already said this. Let's not even. This is really kind of a dead debate, to be honest with you, because they can't even do this for the next couple of years. So I mean, you're only talking about maybe within 2 or 3 years, and Microsoft will be like a landlord, and they're just going to be collecting rent. And I mean, it's better for the Microsoft brand, but realistically, yeah, I mean that's true. But I mean, in all honesty, we're talking about 3 or 4 years from now, because crap, You just said it yourself. There's no way these guys could even fathom this. Microsoft's got their second game coming out in 2016, 2017 with this technology.
You know,
so I mean,
maybe what about this, Mooch? What do you think about PlayStation 5? You think that could possibly take advantage of something like this?
Well, it probably could, again, with the blessing of Microsoft. So, I mean, but no, I don't think PlayStation 5's moving forward with that thought in mind. No.
Not to cut it off, I don't think. I'm saying this. Sony's looking to get out of the hardware business. Being a prime example. Love him or hate him. Don Matrick. I remember when everyone was hyping up the Steam Machine thing. And someone, that's one thing I miss about him. And Phil's not like him, but he shoots from the hip. He don't give a fuck. And they were saying, that Microsoft's going to have some competition in the living room with this new Steam Machine. Just before we know what anything, it was, rumored, not rumored. They said they were going after the living room space. So everybody, Steam Machine, right? And what Don Matrick said, I don't know. It costs a lot of money to be in the hardware business. I don't, what I mean? It costs a lot of money to be in the hardware business. That's why Steam is not making their own PCs. They're looking at Dell, Hewlett Packard, Acer, whoever else to fucking make these quote unquote Steam machines. They're not Alienware. They're not doing them themselves. And like I said, Sony wants to get out of the hardware. That's where they're getting out of the computer business, the TV business. It costs us money. Even when they hire the execs, said they don't know if their next console will be a physical goddamn console. They may be leaning more towards a service. You have your PlayStation 5, whatever the case may be, and here's $30 a month to have access to all the multiplayer, all their exclusives on the PlayStation 5. You know what I mean?
Don't you think that would send them further into red ink, though? Like not making money off of hardware and software?
Look, they have the infrastructure for PS Now. They're testing it. Don't make no mistake. You people that are buying into PS Now and PlayStation Plus, you're buying in the DRM. That's what you're doing. You guys like to bitch when Microsoft does stuff, but you're eerily quiet when it comes to Sony fucking up or doing things anti-consumer. You know what I mean? And I think the situation is this: they've been slowly switching you guys over to digital, to streaming, and they're trying to see how this works. I mean, it's not really a secret. Like, just look around. Like, you take a look around, and you're lost in the woods, and what you see is what you get. They don't want the hardware anymore. Why would you? You spend billions of dollars in that. You lose money. I mean, this was a lucky thing for them, because for whatever reason, Microsoft was the big bad or the evil or whatever.
Well, the thing is. Go ahead.
Guys, well, I want to say something. While we're on the subject of Phil Spencer, I got to bring this up. I want to hear everybody in this podcast's opinion, because so far everything's come to fruition. So I'm a little bit excited. This is the fanboy coming out a little bit. Phil Spencer wore that shirt, okay, at Gamescom, and it said "all-in-one" or something like that. Pardon me if I misquote. With an Xbox symbol in the center, and then it had the symbol for Gears, it had the symbol for Halo, it had the symbol for Forza. And then it had the symbol for the Atlas and A from Titanfall. And everything he's worn on his shirt has come through to be some sort of Xbox exclusive content for a certain amount of time, or has just come from the dead to something like Battletoads. And, literally, this is something. Do you guys have any... I really think Microsoft's scooping up Titanfall. Now, wait, let me rephrase that. Okay, that was a loose bullet right there. That was a hot bullet. I'm telling you, they're going to grab them, but I don't think they're going to do what we all think. They're not going to go and buy the IP, because EA knows when they got a cash cow, especially when Microsoft wants something on a hook. I think what they're going to do is very similar to what they did with Epic, and they'll be paying $50 to $100 million, where it's basically, it'll stay PC. Listen, and here's my whole rationale. It is a great candidate for PC and Xbox people to play United and to have on both platforms, and it puts Microsoft on the spot. It is a fantastic game. It's polished. It's the same principles that we loved COD, Call of Duty 4, and the first Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. It was basics and principles that were done right. It's not an over-the-top game. What everybody said they didn't like Titanfall for is actually the reason it's going to succeed. It's a basic game that runs perfectly. It's gorgeous, it's smooth, it's silk, it's got the movement, the mechanics, and the look. And I think there's enough people, and here's the other reason I got a little proof here. Microsoft could have let Titanfall go to die. You know, like, okay, we had a bundle, it didn't really work so well, great, whatever. But they didn't. They put it on multiple monthly sales. They gave it away for basically $8. They basically said to EA, make sure we put this goddamn thing in the vault so everybody has it. Now everyone's playing it. He puts it on the shirt. So you've got the financial backing. You've got a genre that Microsoft can go head-to-head with Call of Duty with now that they're not supporting them. They could take Titanfall it is a household name now. Sony people know what it is. Microsoft knows what it is. Or excuse me, Xbox guys and PC people. You've got 3 platforms, 100% of the population that's aware of it. It's a household name that can go head-to-head, not head-to-head with COD and beat them just in sales. Who gives a shit if they win 35 million to 26 million? 26 million copies is still a victory when you can go up with an 800-pound gorilla. So I really think Microsoft is going to say, listen, them and EA are fucking butter and toast. They are peas and carrots. They are working together. There's nothing separating those two right now. Let these two unite. Let Xbox get the rights. Microsoft Studios get the rights to the publishing. They can't take the publishing. Let them get the rights to that IP where it's just like Epic with Gears. Don't let this game go anywhere else, and it really will put them on the map for Windows 10 and Xbox One.
Even better. Imagine Titanfall taking full advantage of the cloud like
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Imagine that.
Well, here's the funny thing, right? They said that it's going to be multi-platform, the next one. That doesn't necessarily mean PS4.
Right. No, it doesn't.
You know, I mean, we haven't seen anything. Like, I'm holding out.
Did you see Vince Zampella came out this week, though, What he said?
What he
did not do what he usually does. He came out and they were saying something. It wasn't about what we're talking about right here. It was about how Titanfall became an Xbox One related in the first place. Not this stuff with the shirt. And he goes, if it wasn't for Microsoft, this game wouldn't have happened. Nope, and I'll be honest with you, hear me out. That's a huge difference from the Vince Zampella, okay, back last March when he was like, I don't know what's going on. I wish it was on Sony. He didn't say shit. He said Microsoft backed our ass. You know why? I think there's something in the works where Microsoft just cut another fucking check. I'm telling you right now.
Well, look, you would figure,
people.
Okay, look. Look, Phil Spencer, I believe the guy. He's a man of his word. He did say, you know, he was going to make up for the Street Fighter deal or whatever, and they did lose the Call of Duty deal. Maybe that money could have went into a Titanfall. You don't know. I love the idea because, to be honest with you, I'm worried that if that game does go to PS4, it's going to be so watered down. And we all talk about the parity situation. I don't really want to play the game on EA servers. I liked what they were doing. I'm interested in seeing what they could do building it from the ground up just on current gen console on Azure. You know what I mean? With the cloud compute. Look, you've got an always online game. Why not throw some real cloud computing in there? Like, I realized it was a test run for the AI. Why not throw some destruction in there, or you know what I'm saying, or higher player counts? You know, they could have done so much more. And I want to see that happen.
I was saying last night I was playing Titanfall. Titanfall with the wall running. Okay, with the diagonal wall running. Imagine, like you guys just said, take a Crackdown where you can chip away, like there's chipped away parts of a building, and now you can like double jump and then run up and then hop onto something else. And this is all happening at the fly of the actual players. This isn't just happening because it was designed, because if you shoot, this area falls down. No, as a character can shoot, you can create different ways and paths to run. That's next generation. That's amazing. That's like literally like real time. When people say real time, that's real time. If there's no wall next to you, you can run through it. If there's a wall only above you, a jetpack, you can run up, run diagonal. It just opens the playing field. It's an amazing thought, and Titanfall is the right investment.
Yeah,
it's the same investment to make that like they did with Minecraft. This is the first shooter aspect of what's going to be the next COD, because they're not the type of company that came out and said, oh, we're just using pistols and now we went to future. They started in the future, and it's got the audience. It's got a huge audience.
My thing is, like, with first-person shooters, you know, it's like, and this is like going back to the idea of what is Phil Spencer going to do as far as like giving us a treat. And it's like first-person shooters, you think about it, as much as I like Titanfall, Halo, I mean, that's solidified. That is Xbox. That's one of the best of the best of the best. So moving forward and seeing everything that's going on, I think this is what I think. This would be so cool. Okay, if you really think about what Microsoft could do, even with the cloud implemented in it. And if you look at Phil Spencer's Twitter, he's holding up a Battletoad. He had it on his shirt. They added Rash or whatever Battletoad to Killer Instinct, the Rare Replay, the Shovel Knight. I think that maybe it would be really cool. We see like a badass, Battletoads, and I mean just playing the one on Rare Replay, what they could do and go with it would be insane. That would be so fucking cool. And that's, I don't know, man, just frogs, how you can be all colorful with it and be different, be goofy, quirky, whatever. I think that would be appeal to a lot of people because we've got the first person shooter on lock. But as you said, like Titanfall with the cloud, well, I see Battletoads just from all the signs, what I just said. I see that's going to be like the new thing that's going to be big for Xbox.
No,
well, you know what? Yeah. Go ahead, Food.
I was just gonna say I think they should lock up the whole Titanfall 2 because I mean before I even got the Xbox One, what screamed next generation gaming and what screamed next generation shooter to me was Titanfall. I mean when I'm playing Halo 4, I'm trying to jump on the walls and I forget I'm not playing Titanfall. And like Mooch said, when Zampella came out and said, this game couldn't have happened without Microsoft, I wholeheartedly feel that way because the game was thought up and developed and sold, put on shelves within 2 years. Like you couldn't have done that without Microsoft. There's no way. Like when you have Wrath of God money, all those billions of dollars, like you got a company like that behind you and all that talent. That game came out because of them, and and I'm hoping to God, Mooch, that you're right, man, because I think that is the game that helped define the Xbox One, like next generation wise.
What's nice about it is that it's a household name, and that's what I think is really when you have to sit there and brief like a Phil Spencer or the CEO of Microsoft, you have to say this is something I want to kind of go after because it's an investment. I said $50 million. That's kind of horseshit. It's not $50 million. It's gonna be 100 plus because EA is involved, and you have to really go talk to somebody. And the thing that they did do, call the sales what you will. Mike, I think what are the sales numbers on Titanfall? It's over 4 million, and I'll tell you. They need, but to make the kind of numbers that you have to do better than 4 million. But I think what Microsoft's trying to say is because we pulled it from Sony's mouth right before they were about to like spoon feed it to them, it made it so that they thought that there was a possibility, and now they think there's a possibility again. And Microsoft likes this. It's that dangling carrot in front of that fucking race dog, is that you have something that Sony fans have now thought that would be the second time they've been holding out for something they thought was coming to them, and it wasn't. Excuse me, third time. Titanfall 1. Titanfall 2 is number 2, and 3 we're going to say 2.5 or 3 because it's 12 months. They thought they had Tomb Raider in the bag, and Microsoft scoops that up for a full year. Microsoft doing that, it's what keeps Microsoft relevant, especially right now. It's like, oh, just when you thought you had the lead over us, oh yeah, we took another one of your babies away. You know what I mean? Like we got that too. So it's like eventually you just bring them over to the console.
Well, here's the thing that I was thinking, right? Titanfall came out in 2014. I think that they're probably gonna, they're gonna probably release one like next year, right? I mean, isn't that
17. It's 2017?
You think 17? Okay, well, we'll look at it this way. It could be released late 2016, right? It could be like think about this for a second. Sony has the deals locked up with Call of Duty, and so that they're going to be promoting that next year, right? Next holiday.
Yep.
Call of Duty, whatever it may be. Also, Destiny 2 is coming out next September. Sony will be promoting that. You could be right in the fact that Microsoft needs a shooter next year to go against what's perceived as a big Sony thing, right? And check this out. Next year, Microsoft has no first-party shooters on their list. The perception has totally changed. It's like Recore.
But
well, Gears isn't a first-person shooter though. That's a third-person.
But
yeah, they don't have one single first-person shooter lined up next year.
But I'm gonna tell you why it's gonna be 2017 though, because EA is trying to do like a whole reboot, sell to hell, the whole Medal of Honor thing, and then they also have Battlefield and they have Titanfall. So what they wanted to do was create a 3-year development cycle, and they wanted.
They can't Medal of Honor.
Yeah, Medal of Honor is done. It's gonna be Battlefield, Battlefront, and Titanfall. That's their 3-year.
So do you think Battlefield would be in place of Medal of Honor then?
We know Battlefield's coming next year.
They can't Medal of Honor.
Yeah, Medal of Honor is done. They already said in their earnings call that Battlefield is going to come out next year, and then you have Plants vs Zombies coming out next year too, Garden Warfare 2.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
It's going down. It's going down.
Hey, I like that game, man. I think that game's awesome, man.
Yeah,
That's a great
it
game.
shouldn't be a $60 game. It should be a $40 game.
I think it is a $40 game.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think it's 40.
You know what I mean? But did you see? I just read. I've been a little behind, but I just read that they explained why Battlefront is not going to have any any story. They said because most people doesn't play them. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't play the stories first. I play multiplayer to get a feel for. Unless it's Halo, I'll play Halo the campaign first. But like, Titanfall. I didn't even know Titanfall didn't have a campaign for a while because I just played the multiplayer right away.
I suck dick in that game, but yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, motherfucking Oh wait! Listen, hold up. I wanted to say something before we get the hell up out of here. Did you see the list of the new updates for the PS4? They getting live streaming straight to YouTube. Microsoft needs to get on board with that.
But Zaire, how are they gonna get online when they can't get online?
Well, I'm just saying. Well, it's not even so much about going online. It's about just broadcasting straight from playing whatever game, God of War, anything.
I mean, does it have to go through PSN service?
No, do you have the Twitch thing? They prime example. You saw we're doing this Google Hangout here. You know what I mean? They have the new update that because YouTube's rolling out their new gaming Twitch app, and I was looking at one of the things that you're gonna be able to live stream straight to Twitch. And I'm sorry, straight to YouTube with the PS4. Microsoft needs to get on board with that.
I mean, they will. They will. They innovate everything and do everything first.
Well, usually, whenever
everything.
It goes back and forth. Microsoft came out with uploading directly to YouTube, and then Sony copied it. You know what I mean? It'll go back and forth. I'm sure.
That's going to be pretty. I hope they have the whole app, like it is, but you know what I mean?
Microsoft can't do
flag drops, man, but that's going to be because fuck Twitch. You know what I mean? I would use the
I agree. I agree. I stopped Twitch streaming because I'm tired of all the swatting going on, and I ain't gonna be swatted.
Not even swatting is that they make you go through so much to partner your channel. First it was 1,000 followers, which I'm far surpassed that. Then I'm asking them, and then but they still have I understand it's a business, but fuck that. They have ads on your live stream. But you're not making any revenue from that. That's going all to Twitch. Fuck that. That's why I stopped doing it, man. You know what I mean?
They even tell you how you can fucking dress on that shit. That place is communist.
Yeah, fuck that. You know what I mean? So, little sidebar there. So, hope Microsoft, if you're listening, you guys got to get that broadcasting straight to YouTube. That'll be huge. You could take advantage of that crap.
I don't think I could stream games on YouTube.
Well, you can. You're doing it now. It's not. No, I'm saying you're doing it now.
Well, it's not taking. Yeah, I am, but it's just. Basically, it's just streaming like a voice. It's not streaming like it takes to stream a game. You have to have an upload speed. They say between 3 and 5, and I don't. You know what I mean?
God damn.
My upload speed's much less than 3.
Jesus Christ!
What do you use?
Next to a swamp? Jesus.
Who do you pay for your internet?
It's just a normal amount. I'm not even sure. No, man, it's like 60, 80. But it's like it's the only option here. There's no other option here. You know what I mean? It's like you have CenturyLink and then that's it.
Bro, you can come over.
Do you have DSL back or do you have cable?
Yeah, well, it's cable, but it's only they're only allowed to do so much. You know what I mean? Because most people,
that's all they're going to do. Like
DSL, because CenturyLink uses DSL, and DSL technology can't have high upload rates from the house.
Yeah, you're only allowed like one, like sometimes 1.5. So really, it just really kind of depends. Thing is, like we're up to like 20 down, but it's like a situation where most people out this area aren't gamers. You know what I mean? It's like they don't notice You know what I mean? They want enough to go to Facebook and stuff like that. So it's not really high on
In
their
the area you live, they're busy like hunting and going on the boat and mudding and shit.
Porn. I mean, how's watching porn? Can you watch porn?
Yeah, man, dude. I can watch Netflix, I can watch all that stuff in 1080p. I mean, it's fine. But as far as uploading, like to upload like say a 4 or 5 minute video on my channel, an hour and a half to 2 hours, something like that.
Did you guys hear about how they found unreleased footage of Fallout 4 on Pornhub?
Yeah.
Bro, could you imagine you beating off and then you would come across Fallout and you just stop and you're like, what is this? Like, when are the girls coming?
Yeah, I'm not really too big into Fallout. Hey, Crap, you like Fallout? Are you a Fallout type guy?
No, you know what? I have Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, but I haven't played either one of them. I might have tried to play Fallout 3. But it was so boring, you know what I mean? It was like I didn't know what to do.
It was too much to do. All this walking and killing rats.
We're on the same page with that next gen. Like there's such thing as a too much open world game. I like it like Batman was a fine open world game for me. You click on the next thing, it tells you where to go. You know what I mean? And I went and did it. You know what I mean?
I love that. I'm in the minority. I'm a minority in the minority.
Oh, you didn't like Fallout, Blackie?
It was good. Like. The atmosphere was okay, but like, I went to the next town and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I'm with Blackie. I want to get into Fallout. I do want to get into it. The problem with me is that I like it. I do like the idea. Like The Witcher. I'm still playing The Witcher. 5 hours in, I've got 8 achievements. Like, literally, like, it kills me. And I'm not an achievement person, but, like, give me something. Like, give me fucking something. I've made almost every goddamn formula and potion shit. Me and my wife even got the help guide. We're like just throwing the book on the ground. Like, what the hell else do you want us to do? Give me fucking 10 achievements. And like, there's just so much you got to do. And then I actually snapped achievements. And you have the progress bar. There was no progress. It's just like gray bars. It's like you have to do 1,000 things. I haven't done one of the 1,000. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'll say this, man. I got 170 hours on The Witcher 3, and I'm like 27% completed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like stuff like that. Like I don't know if you guys played Oblivion. There's an Elder Scrolls game.
I got Oblivion. I
put 172 hours into it, and then I realized that they came out with the DLC, and I bought that. And I like knowing when I look at how much I got completed. I'm nowhere near done. Like, I feel like I got value out of my game.
See, the thing is, and this is another conversation that's really interesting to have on the show, and it's good that Food's here. See, Food, and I said this to you a couple days ago, like, literally, you're younger. So there's just different, like, all of us, like, I'm not saying you don't have a job, but we all work all day. When you come home, you got a kid, you have to take care of this and that.
I sell coke out the bando, man, you know what I mean? I'm selling blow out the bando over here, bro.
Ain't nobody said that was easy work either. Listen, man, what I'm saying is this. So when you got a lot of time and you're younger, you could do that. But, like, myself personally, to say I got 65 hours invested into a game and I'm at 8%, like, that's just not, like, it's satisfying, but it's not satisfying enough. You know what I mean? So, like, me, I need something like Dying Light. I put 60 hours into Dying Light, but I 98%ed it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's like, I can deal with that. I don't have 375 hours to get halfway through a game. You know what I mean? Like,
I said the exact same thing, right? Like, look, I was in my 20s when Mass Effect 1 came out, right?
Mass Effect was slow.
Yeah, I could put. Well, you know what? I liked it. It was more RPG than the other ones, but I mean, look, even Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 2, right? Look, you could put. Or look, I'll even go back even further. KOTOR. The first KOTOR, I put probably 100 hours into my first playthrough of that and beat it. Right? I was a kid basically. You know what I'm saying? I had the time to do that. Now it's like with work and everything, and you're tired, and you know what I mean. I don't want to spend, 5 hours trudging through a side quest to level up, and then not get an achievement in those 5 hours. You know what I mean? It's like it's not very rewarding. I get it. Like The Witcher 3 is a good game, great game, but it's just not rewarding enough, like for the average person. Or if you're like a busy person, you will. And then what happens is this, right? You get these games, and then you play them. and then you get these other games come out, right? And then you play, and then you go
Too
back
many
to
games.
the Witcher, yeah, and you're like, what the hell? Like you forget how to play it, what's going on? It's like that's the
Yeah.
situation that she kind of gets stuck with. Like me, I like Batman. You know, within the first like few hours, man, I had a couple hundred gamer score, and I was into the story. You know what I mean? It was like, and that's how I play games. Like this is how I play games that are like open world games. I'll play through them, beat the main stuff, and then go back and do some of the side stuff. I'm not the type of person that likes getting off track from my fucking main mission. You know what I mean? I like, you know, point A, point B, let me progress the story, let me beat this guy, let me go to point C to point D. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like to play games. And The Witcher was like almost you had to do these side things to level up so you could progress the story. It was like this big kind of hassle, and that's sort of like the problem I have with like Destiny aside.
I had an ADD. Like I lose interest in games. I don't know why. Listen, I'm gonna be a gamer for the rest of my life. It's just me that I lose. I don't know what the fuck's going on with me, man. I mean, like what I like. I like what some like some games like me. I thought I was gonna be so gun ho about The Witcher. I put it in and I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because I love Witcher 2. I beat it on my other account. You know what I mean? It was just too goddamn slow. Even with Batman, I don't know what the fuck happened with Batman. I was playing and I was knocking it out. Then I don't know, probably met a new mistress of mine, got a new bitch or something. I don't know what the fuck happened. I just fucking lost it, man. I don't know what the fuck happened. But you know, Metal Gear's coming out. Gears is gonna put me back in the game. We're gonna do that. Are you guys getting Madden? Because if you guys get Madden, as long as I got some people I can play with and I know what I can
I'm seriously considering it.
Zeke. If you get Madden, I will play with you. And you know what I mean?
You know what? I was thinking about getting it, but nobody played with me last year when I got it, and it'll be in the.
I'm telling you right now, we can
Let's
make
all get it then.
I would buy it. Like I just, you know, because I'm not that good in it, but I could play basic football. I used to be much better in Madden, but I don't mind losing to people I know. I don't hate getting blown out by 35 to some pimple-faced, dick-faced motherfucker. You know what I mean? No. But if you guys get mad and you know we can have fun and pop shit and you know. And
I bet we could do like our own league or something on there.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's exactly it. That's how you get people interested. You know what you do? Zaire, Showstopper, me and you, and then you grab a couple like Blackie, Food, or whoever wants to get it involved, and then grab like 5 of our biggest fans that are part of BGST. It's like total interaction. That's a lot of bullshit and shit talk too on the show.
This is, you know, I call dibs on the fucking here.
When does it come out?
It comes out in August.
August 25th or 26th.
When does Gears come out?
Gears is the 25th, so they're both on the 25th, I think.
All right, question. Sidebar, another question. Does Gears have new achievements for the story?
Yes.
Yes, all new. It's all new achievements.
They added 4 extra hours of story.
Is it co-op? Is it 4 people co-op? One person co-op?
Yes.
No, it's two-person co-op because that's what the original Gears was. The multiplayer is 4 versus 4.
Okay.
And they kind of reworked.
I didn't get a chance to finish Gears 3 because Miss Maya, she was sticking fucking water and shit inside the Xbox when she was like 2. I never got the chance to finish Gears 3, so I'm looking to do Gears 3, and I get another partner run with Gears 1.
Well, when you get Gears Ultimate, you get Gears 1, 2, 3.
I know. That's why I don't have Gears. I don't have any Gears anymore. But so I'm looking to play Gears 3 all the way through. And Gears is looking for
Did
a partner.
you pick it up on the 360? Because it's free to download.
Actually, I do. I just wanted to 360 a couple months ago.
Speaking of Gears of War, this is something I wanted to ask you guys because that was a real big game. Do you think that this August 25th, that things are gonna start wrapping up for Xbox One? I see it because you have this Gears of War Ultimate Edition. You have a lot of people who are. I'm so eager to jump back on Gears of War 1 because I mean the community was so big, and then after that you have Forza, and then that's it.
Halo.
Then Halo the next month, and
then Tomb Raider.
I'm thinking that's what I swear to goodness, man. I think by the end of this year, the Xbox One is gonna be like one of the most wanted consoles as far as a holiday in a long time. Because as a gamer, as somebody who loves video games, I just don't see how you could just be like, oh, Halo 5, whatever, Tomb Raider, whatever,
Yeah.
I just don't know how you could see. I don't see how somebody who enjoys games could go about that route. I just don't get it.
Blackie, you would be surprised.
I think Halo 5 is Halo is one of those rare games that pushes consoles. There's not a lot of games out there that actually people will buy a console for, but Halo's one of them. Halo 5 is twice the size of Halo 4. It looks beautiful. They've done so much with it. It looks fantastic. And if you read like the agenda, even with Gears 4, right? If you read what Rod Ferguson said, he goes, as a studio, we've got to do it right before we can change anything about it, right? So I would expect Gears 4 to be like as close to Gears 1, 2, and 3 as possible, right? Like they're going for a darker story, so that's more like Gears 1. They got to do it right. If you look at what 343 did with Halo 4, they did it. They tried to do it right, and they made a couple mistakes. But to me, it was my favorite. But they had to do it so it was Halo, and it was Halo, like the campaign and all that stuff. They messed up a little bit with the segregating the audiences with the paid DLC and things like that. And they're doing that right. You know what they're doing with this is there is no paid DLC. Everybody gets the free. You know what I mean? There's absolutely nothing to complain about. They're completely fixing it. They're doing it right, and they've kind of put their own stamp on it with the co-op and things like that. I think that's fantastic, and going for the 60 frames over the split screen. You're not going to be able to please everybody in life. So I props to them for going with the performance over anything else, and I think that's important. And I think, mark my words, that Halo, when that comes out in October, you're going to see at least 1 million, 1.5 million consoles sold that month for Xbox One.
Did you guys play the beta of Halo, the Halo 5 Guardians beta?
Yeah, I played it every day.
Yeah, this is crazy now. See, this is Blackie Lebowski doing some exposure, son, on himself. You know how they gave you 2 codes and you had to put 2 codes in? Like I rushed and gave one of my first codes to somebody, so I was completely fucked out of the beta.
Dude, because one of them was to download the game and one of them was to access it online or whatever, right?
Yeah, you have to have 2. So I'm like, yo, man, I got your code. And he's like, hell yeah, you gonna hook me up? And I start reading it, and it's like you need both codes, and it's like wah wah wah.
So what do you guys think about?
They did the same thing for Gears.
What do you guys think about how the Batman PS4 bundle sold really well, right? So do you think the Halo Xbox One bundle will sell better than the PS4 Batman bundle?
They say only.
I wish that there was an Elite controller that was Halo theme driven. That's my only beef, because it's like, you're gonna make this Elite controller, I'm gonna spend $150 on it. If they had one that was like Master Chief inspired, with the theme, or like the Spartan Lock, that blue, that shit is beautiful, man.
Yo, I'm with you, Blackie, but I got that Elite controller coming day one, man. I can't explain to you. Even when I wrote a bunch of shit on Twitter today and yesterday, and literally the number one thing I always say when someone says to me, why? And this is anyone can bust my shit for this. I don't care. But if anybody says to me, why do you love the Xbox? My number one is controller. The controller is always been I don't give a shit, man. It's if you ask a race car driver, ask him how his fucking steering wheel feels. If it don't feel right, he isn't doing it. Look, ask Tom Brady about his footballs. Listen, I don't give a shit what it is. It's about how the fucking shit feels in your hands. Okay, I don't care if it's your girls, even if your girls.
I hear he likes deflated balls.
I agree. I like my remotes to be deflated.
Yeah. But I'm saying that controller, that Elite controller is it's gonna have weight to it.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about all the amazing features. I'm talking about the weight. So when you actually hold that shit, it's like right now. I'm not I prefer the Xbox One controller to that piece of shit. I can never have analog sticks so close to my knuckles and my thumb knuckles. That does not work for me. But the Xbox One controller, I love everything they did with it, except for the fact that I just wish it was a little heavier. And then I saw that. I was literally at E3 and I was just like, bye. I just bought that shit immediately. I didn't even wait. I was just like, boom. I didn't give a shit when it was coming out. 2 years. It's an amazing piece of hardware that's coming out.
You got the chat pad that's coming along with the controller move. So not only do we have this great controller, the basic one, we have this Elite controller. And I was wanting to ask you guys this. Do you think there's going to be an imbalance between the Elite controller players and the standard ones? Okay.
I don't think so.
Because you can adjust the sensitivity and all the different thumbsticks.
Dude, I think you might. I think. I was, you know what? I think that you're gonna see a lot of like some of the people, really hardcore gamers are gonna get into that, right? So you might see a little bit, but I think that overall, I think that it'll be pretty even because the regular Xbox One controller is pretty good too.
Yeah, I don't mean it is. But like, let me customize my button inputs for like Titanfall. Then I think it'll be a wrap. Like, you're able to have the extra buttons in the back, right? So I was also thinking about this, right? What if you get the Elite controller and you put the chat pad on it, and they have 2 extra buttons on the bottom that you could also customize to do whatever you want. So you get even 2 more buttons. Like, I think there will be an advantage, but that's just me.
That's a good.
You know, it's
you don't always agree.
Enough.
That's fine.
Hey, it's affordable enough for most people to get it because look, the regular one's $60, but it's basically slightly more than 2 controllers. If you're like a really hardcore guy, why not get it? If you're looking at a SCUF controller, those are $100 more than that. Those are like $250.
Yeah. So we're actually getting a good deal. A lot of people are trying to say that it's expensive, but we're getting a good deal because those SCUF controllers are $250. It's a much better deal.
Yeah, it is.
Pro controller?
I think I'm going to. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up getting it just because I think it's really good. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to like Halo 5. Yeah, Halo 5's going to be good. I'm going to be playing the Gear stuff online. Yeah, you know, and you know, I'm a Forza dude too, so I'll be playing some Forza online and stuff, and I'm looking forward to, you know, just trying to play these hardcore games and stuff as the best, you know, and with a little bit better controller. Like I got these things sent to me from this company, called PlayBuzz. There's these little things that you slip on the button. Did you? Yeah, and they work pretty good for first-person shooters and stuff. I like them actually.
Wait, you got something for the knobs or for the handles of the controller?
The handles underneath, you like stick them on the bottom, like and
they little cones. Yeah, yeah. I did a video for the guy from PlayerBuds.
Yeah, PlayBuds. Yeah, they're pretty nice though. I like them. You know what I mean? They're inexpensive, but they give you kind of a better grip. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty cool. And I think that just the weight of the controller and being able to kind of customize it with the new one, I think that's fantastic. You know, I like what Xbox to me is doing, like what the hardcore gamers are all about now. And Sony to me is more about what like your grandma wants or the cool thing that your 6-year-old neighbor wants or what. Hey, do you get that PlayStation 4?
Well, crap. You know what? Look at the everything works in trends, right? Blackie, you love this shit when you do your analysis. Here's my trend. Nintendo, and listen, I know Blackie, you're a fan. I'm a fan of Nintendo. I grew up playing them. Yeah. But the one thing that's Nintendo's falter is the fact that they are stuck in their ways, and we're seeing that in Sony. Sony is stuck in their ways. They will only do certain things. They don't think outside the box. Microsoft, you're always going to get slapped on the wrist when you do something outside the box. But Microsoft does things outside the box. And this is something that you're seeing is a little bit more. Now you're seeing the line drawn between Japanese and American businesses. Nintendo and Sony, they think that they got something, and when they got something, they just run it into the ground. Microsoft and America, the way we think, if something's not working, even if where you all work right now, if something's not working, someone's like, this shit ain't working. We need to flip this around tomorrow. What is not working right now? The Japanese are like, no, it will work. Work for grandfather. You know, and they just keep going until the fucking thing burns.
You know, right. But I think you're absolutely right. That's one of the first things I learned in business school. They teach you is that you have to learn to adapt. You have to move forward because I mean, as society, if you look in the last 5 years, just the progression, and then you look 10 years before that, and things are moving fast, and it's only the momentum's only carrying forward. So nothing's. That's right. It's not slowing down for anybody.
Look at the apps.
As much as I'm a fan of Nintendo, this new NX console, this is crazy. And you're right. These Japanese, maybe it's a business, maybe it's like you said, like grandfather really believed in this method, so they completely don't even consider anything else to be possible. And I think the NX, man, this is in my mind, and it shouldn't be because Nintendo is in a position. They have the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3. They've been out for a few years. They have money. They can jump on some technology. They have the IPs. They have shit to do some damage. But are they going to do it? Who the hell knows? They just made the Wii U. What the fuck? Like, I don't know what they're gonna do.
The thing is that that's why I think it's a little we're in the scary spot right now with Nintendo, because when Nintendo Japanese, I agree with Mooch, like they don't change unless they fucking someone has a gun to their dick or Hard 8 is gonna grab their dick, and you know, and you know. With the GameCube, you know, they got cornered, so they came out with the Wii. Now with the Wii U, they're getting cornered, and I feel like now they're going to come out the gate real hard with some crazy-ass technology like they like to do. And we could all talk shit about Nintendo this and Nintendo that, but I bet you Blackie, Crap, you know, Zaire, Mooch, you'll buy the Nintendo NX because we want to play Smash Brothers, we want to play Mario Kart, and Splatoon, and you know whatever.
Zaire don't play no Smash Bros. That's what.
Yeah, I don't want to Smash Bros. I don't play ain't my thing. I smash hoes, I don't Smash Bros. Yeah, no, but I mean, it is suspect. Pikmin, who wanna pick a man? Smash Bros. I ain't fucking with them, man.
Hey, you can't judge a book by its cover. Pikmin.
I ain't trying to be in the covers. I ain't playing. I mean, that's not a real fighting game, man. I like shit like DOA, fucking Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Soul Calibur. That's my shit.
Yeah, back in the day, you used to stream some of that Mortal Kombat on there, man. That was fun, man.
I was beating motherfuckers' asses in that Mortal Kombat. What's fucking with my character was a homosexual until I found out.
Man, we should between all of us, we should hold like a Sega Genesis Mortal Kombat contest, because I could play that, but I can't play any of the new ones. I'm garbage in the new ones.
Oh, should I don't have too many of my old systems. I lost all that shit in fire, dog.
But I want to do one more topic real quick. Let's see. I just wanted to ask you guys about this. Peter Moore, you know, the guy at EA, said that he said that the reason Battlefront doesn't have a single player is because nobody plays single player games. I mean, what do you guys think about that? I mean, for me, like the best games that I played so far this year have been single player. You know, Batman and The Witcher. Yeah. You know, I would disagree. I would think that, like, I'm confused. Is he like? I don't know if you guys have read his comments, but is it because a lot of the single-player games for stuff like Battlefield is really bad? You know, I have always enjoyed the Call of Duty campaigns. You know, I thought those were pretty good.
Here's the thing, it's kind of you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And Vince Zampella went through this a few years ago with Titanfall. They gave him a lot of shit for not having a campaign. And the number one beef that everybody said, I understand, and believe me, Crap, I already know your role, and there's a lot of people that feel the way you do. But the majority of people, of let's say 35 million copies were sold of all these Call of Duties in the past couple of years, the majority complaint was, I don't play your campaign, or I play an hour and a half of it, and then I go right to multiplayer. And when you have a small studio, which that's not the case with Battlefront, but with Vince Zampella, he said, we just felt that we would turn our talents to the multiplayer because that's really where the game will excel. Now, Peter Moore, okay, is kind of under a different curtain. My opinion is that EA was forced, okay? Let's not get things confused. It's a beautiful game. I'm probably going to buy it. I'm probably going to buy the hype. I don't like to do that a lot, but I'm going to buy into the hype because of the Star Wars thing. But I think this game's getting pushed forward because of the movie, and that's smart. Like, you're going to sell about 25% more of this title just because it's also launching with the movie coming out a month after, and it's even before. It's like football, right? We all buy the football game. We're all going to buy Madden. Madden sales are better because it's 3 weeks before the season kicks off. The hype is high. So they're going to do the hype before in November. The movie comes out in December, and you're basically looking at they had to get it out. It's just a huge chunk of money. So Peter Moore, being who he is, was asked, excuse me, do you think that you should have had a campaign? Well, no, nobody plays campaign anymore. Why?
Yeah.
Like, he's got to say that, and he's got to say it fast because he's got to make a lot of people believe the fact that that was their intent. Now, if Star Wars was coming out next year, do you know when Battlefront would be coming out? Next year. With a campaign. So you have to understand that their hand was forced. So do I think he meant it? Yeah, I think he meant it because he's the CEO, or he's the man. Do I think he truly believes that? No, not at all. Like, he meant it because he's got to say it. That's his job. But to be honest with you, that is fully bullshit because nobody wants to buy just a multiplayer game. It's the Achilles heel of Titanfall, and Titanfall 2 will have some sort of a campaign game. Will it be as in depth as Call of Duty? Maybe not the first time around, but it'll be something that you could play for 5 to 6 hours and then enjoy a hefty multiplayer.
And it would be hindered. You know, people would start crying and screaming that I don't want a game that you have to always be online. And it's not really going to say you have to be online, but if it's only multiplayer, then you got to be online.
You know, and I felt like no campaign hindered Titanfall a bit, because it's like those games, once you're done with them, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to go back or whatever. You know, like sometimes I'll play through a Call of Duty campaign a couple of times. I hope they do put some kind of campaign. Look, I look forward to, especially lately, like I like the Advanced Warfare campaign a lot more than the multiplayer. You know, the past, I think, 3 or 4 Call of Duty games, I've enjoyed the campaigns, but not the multiplayers. So I think that, you know, I like that action-packed kind of Michael Bay type situation. You know what I mean? Like, I've enjoyed those. So I would have to say, yeah, I agree with you, Mooch. I think that he's just saying that because, look, this game would have taken a lot longer than 2 years to do if you were doing a campaign as well.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously EA does a lot of single-player games. Like, they're doing a Star Wars single-player RPG. They're doing Mirror's Edge. I mean, those are single-player games. Obviously, they like doing the online stuff, like you know, Plants vs. Zombies and Titanfall, and you know, that new Need for Speed is online only. You know, they like doing that because they're, you know, because that's their way of controlling the game.
They want to keep tabs on you.
Yeah. So
and you know, I personally think I agree with you, Mooch and Crap. I mean, he says it because he has to. I don't think he believes it. And you know, I myself can't, because out of every single game here I own, you know, the game that made me stay and play through from beginning to end and not play any other game until I finished was Tomb Raider, and you know, and that's a single player game, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Like, here's the funny thing. Like, I was looking around, like people were like, we don't want DRM, and then I'm like, okay, well, now, and I was looking at the popular games, and it's like Destiny online only, The Crew online only, The Division is going to be online only, this new Need for Speed online only, Plants vs. Zombies online only, Titanfall online only.
Did you hear about this bullshit with Need for Speed, though? To progress in the game, you have to have a Twitter account, and you have to tweet pictures of your in-game stuff, and then you have to get favorites and retweets on them.
What?
Yeah, to progress.
That makes
I've
no
never heard
sense.
of that.
EA is they're grabbing you by the balls, man.
Now, one thing that I did like that did incorporate Twitter and stuff was IDARB, where you could do like the hash bombs and things like that. But we're like way past when Mooch had to go, so
All right,
I'm gonna
sorry,
kind of
Mooch.
wrap things
That's
up.
all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not way past. It's about 10 minutes, but I just wanted to thank you guys for coming in and, you know, doing the podcast. And like, we had over 250 people watching. Next Gen had to bolt. He took off. He didn't even wait for us to end the show. He's like, I gotta go. You know, so yeah, he's gone. You know, and I don't know. Something will be up with Big Gamer Small Talk. I'm not sure what. It might be pre-recorded. We might do something live on my channel Sunday night. I don't know. I think you know, it's something we're gonna have to talk about as a kind of a group. Maybe do 2 things, you know, because I know people like to tune in. Usually Sundays at 8 is the thing. They tune in to BGST, so I'm not sure what's going on. We'll keep you guys know what's up with that. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys comment, and make sure you guys check out Blackie Lebowski's channel and Too Much Food and Mooch's channel. Oh shit, Mooch doesn't have a channel. So
I'm now employed by Crap Gamer, apparently.
He's an intern. Did you get Crap's coffee?
Mooch is my he's my Robin Quivers.
That's correct.
You know,
Yes.
I need a sidekick. You know, he is. He's like my go-to sidekick. I'm like, hey Mooch, let's do a 20-minute podcast, bro.
Gee willies, I'm like, yeah, fuck my channel. Let's just do Craps.
Gamer Reviews and Mooch.
It's easier, I'll say that much.
Right.
I appreciate you guys checking it out, man. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you again next week. Check out all these guys' channels. They're really entertaining. We appreciate it. Rack 'em up.
Peace.
See you guys.